Welcome back, adventurer. Come in, take a seat. Now no tricks or crafting today. What story would you like to hear? Can't decide? Let's go back to the very beginning then. Well, sit down and get comfortable. This time it's better to have some tea instead of ale. Long ago lived a man, strong and brave. He was the hero of his people, defender of the weak, and righteous to the point of annoyance. He was in love, but in his eyes were the most beautiful and the most gracious, kind and smart woman, who he fought alongside for many years. And when their deed was done and they could pass the fighting to the younger generation, they retired to a humble wooden house by the lake. Many times they have tried to have children of their own and failed each time. Slowly, it began to take a great toll on them both, and so the man sought for help elsewhere. As he was a formidable warrior and recognized by the goddess of creation Inme, he turned to her for help. He cried and begged and pleaded that for all his work in her name, he just wants a child in return. His prayers were answered, and the boy named Aleint was born 9 months later. As the boy grew, his parents felt the presence of Inme grow as well, as if she would have a personal interest in the boy. On Alain's 10th birthday, Inme took a mortal form and came down to celebrate. His parents knew that some part of her essence was imbued in him, and as her lifelong worshippers, they rejoiced at the opportunity to meet her. Inme asked them if Aleint would become her paladin, that she will grant him powers beyond the mortal world, and he will become the next champion of the realm, in her name. How could they refuse such an offer? And from that moment, Inme spent a great deal of time with Aleint, teaching him and training him in the most loving and caring way imaginable. When Aleint became an adult, it was apparent that she was indeed in love with him, and surely was he. But how can a mortal be with a god? Sure, they could spend the next 50, 60 years together if they're lucky. But as the old saying goes, we all must return to ash. Realizing that, Aleint spent years searching for a way to become immortal, but that wasn't enough. In order to truly be with Inme, he had to ascend, to become a god himself. It was only natural that their relationship turned some bad eyes on them, not only from Inme's worshippers, but also from other gods as well. You see, adventurer, gods might not have the concept of time, and are beings beyond our imagination, but deep down, they feel the same things we do. Love, hate, anger, jealousy. And you think your ex was bad? Imagine what it is to have a jealous ex-immortal partner. And so high priests, worshippers, followers, or just plain and all hateful people tried to get rid of Aleint. They tried to sabotage his carriages, poison his food, send him on extremely dangerous missions alone, put him on the front lines of wars. But each time, he has emerged victorious. And so, their hatred grew. Some of them turned to other gods for help. Others turned to a more evil deities. Just like that began the race for Alaint's future, Will he ascend and become a god and be within me forever? Or is he going to perish by the hands of the unforgiving? On his adventures, he heard a rumor about a goddess who was once believed to be a mortal woman, somehow managed to kill a god and ascend. For his next 25 years, Aleint searched for an answer, until finally, on his 53rd birthday, he found it. Of course, there are no records how he actually have done it, but he has achieved his lifelong goal. But there are no happy ending to the story. It has only angered the gods even further. A fight arose between the deities. It is said they have fought for 1,000 years, until Aleint was mortally wounded. Inme knew they both couldn't stay, and she was holding Aleint in her hands, his acid oozing outside of his body. She did the only thing she thought would leave them two at peace. She tore the fabric of reality itself and escaped, leaving nothing behind. Now she was floating in nothingness, with her love slowly dying in her hands. Being the goddess of creation, she gathered all of his essence into a solid mass, and that's how our world was created. Inme named this space Iaun, or sanctuary in her language. As she was holding Aleint in her arms, she turned herself into the last barrier of our reality. From the memories, life sparked on Iaun. Many life forms came to be, but as Aleint was wounded by a hateful strike, so evil beings took their place in our world as well. And from here on out, you know the rest. I really should stop reading in candlelight. Oh, hey adventurer. Looking for more stories? There will be in the future. If there's something that you would like to hear, comment down below and I will surely answer it. Also, like the video, subscribe, and keep in touch. Soon we'll have more stories together. See you later.